for something that pertains to the committee's consideration of the rules?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
So this convention makes 20 years since I've been going to conventions, and I look forward to this convention being one of the most exciting and instrumental in the future of our union. Now, if this is your first convention, let me hear a heck yeah. Pretty cool, isn't it? My first convention in 2006 in Las Vegas had nearly 10,000 delegates, and I think this one's getting close to that. Every convention, resolutions and amendments are put forth by this great body to decide upon. I anticipate a lot of healthy debate to occur on the proposed resolutions and amendments that are put forth at this convention. Let's please be respectful and considerate in this process, and no shithouse lawyer comments. We expect to be treated with dignity and respect at work, and this is no different, so let's keep it civil. Now, if you, like me, most, if not all of these resolutions and amendments you'll be seeing today in this book, and there's quite a few of them, will be the first time that you're seeing them. So for the new people, when a resolution is read, usually the maker of the resolution speaks on it as to why it was put forward. Then the debate begins. People speaking for it or against it will come to the microphone offering their opinions as why. All too often, in my experience, someone will come to the microphone, Doug, and call for the question. This effectively ends debate unless the body, us, says no to the question being called. One year, I think it was Philadelphia, it was a running joke that when we saw a certain brother at the microphone that the question was going to be called for. So, with that being said, if the question is called for and you want to hear more debate so as to make an informed decision on the topic, say no to the question. However, if on the other hand, the topic has been belabored and you don't want to hear any more on it, say aye. Above all and everything else, I ask that we keep it respectful. In solidarity, go Tigers, even though we lost Scooble, play ball.
Thank you, brother. And should the convention choose to accept the rules with which you're very familiar from past conventions, that is advice that I'm sure many delegates in the room will heed. Of the microphones, those that are at the mic, does anyone rise underprivileged to offer something related to the report of the Rules Committee or the consideration of the rules as presented by the convention? Microphone number one, do you intend to be underprivileged? Please turn that just a little bit other way, a little more.
A little more.
A little more. Brother, you got to turn. There we go. All right, microphone number one, underprivileged.
Michael Rivera, Branch 70, San Diego.
Brother Rivera, do you rise for a matter related to the report of the Rules Committee?
Yes, I motion to amend Rule 21, underprivileged, to allow my appeals of the Executive Council's decision to prevent the investigation into national charges filed pursuant under Article 10 of our Constitution be heard on Tuesday for the good of this association.
Brother, you're making a motion to amend Rule 21.
Correct.
We would need the specifics of how you are moving to amend that motion in terms of the actual language.
Appeals to the convention will be heard on Friday. However, appeals under Article 10 should be heard on Tuesday. That is what I'm asking for the amendment. Tuesday to be heard for any appeals of the Executive Council's decisions, not appeals under the Committee of Appeals.
All right, brother, you mentioned two things there. You mentioned Article 10. You also mentioned Executive Council decisions. Is your motion to amend the rules so that any appeals of Executive Council decisions would be held on Tuesday?
Yes. Not to think about everyone else who comes after me. Not just me.
Brother Rivera, I want to be very clear for the rest of the convention and certainly for anyone that might wish to second the motion. The rule as written says that any appeals, I think the word is, I don't have it right here, even all appeals will be heard on Friday. Brother Rivera is offering an amendment not to change all appeals that will be heard on Friday, but only those appeals of decisions of the Executive Council, not the Committee on Appeals. Is that correct, brother?
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you, brother. Is there a second? You would need to rise under privilege. Microphone number 3.
Alamo Branch 421, Zachary Spitz, Bernie, Texas. I second the motion.
Thank you, brother. Okay, Brother Rivera, would you like to speak further for your motion?
Yes. The Executive Council's vote of bypassing an investigation has led to a serious breach of members' right of due process guaranteed under our national Constitution. This issue must be addressed with urgency, and it must be addressed in front of the entire Supreme Body.
Okay. Brother Rivera, as a point of information, I, of course, am aware of your intent to appeal to the convention to hear your appeal. We've had communication about that. Just to be clear, you've made a motion to amend the rules. Amending the rules would not automatically mean that any appeal would be heard. That would require a separate motion after the rules of the convention are adopted. So I just want to be sure that there's an understanding about that as you make this motion to amend.
I'm also considering any future possible appeals coming down of the Executive Council. I believe that the charges that reach the Executive Council, that require Executive Council decisions, they take precedent because they require the entire body to be present to hear this, especially the issues of leadership. We need to make sure, I'm not only speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for this isn't the first time. We had this happen in Boston, it's happening here this week, and the future of this process should be considered, and we need to consider the difference between appeals of decisions of the Committee on Appeals through local matters and national matters. And national matters requires the National Convention to be present and make sure that we're a full body when those matters are handled.
Thank you, brother. Since the convention has not yet adopted rules, I am going to follow the process that we have traditionally followed under our rules, and now we'll look for those that may wish to speak against the motion to amend Rule 21. Microphone number 6.
Hello, Colleen Cruiser, Branch 3, Buffalo, Western New York. I was going to come up here to make a motion to accept the rules as written.
Sister, while we have a motion on the floor to amend the rules, we must first conclude
Yes, I understand.
disposition
So,
of that.
no, I'm against this because I want to accept it as written.
Okay, you would certainly, once this matter is
Yes.
decided, you would certainly be, you could come to the mic under privilege and make such a motion.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking for the amendment, microphone number 2.
Michael Still, Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, Allentown. It's important in a democracy that the supreme body, i.e. the people, do not give away their powers. Because as soon as you give away your power, you don't get it back. Article 1, Section 4 says the National Convention shall be the supreme body to which final appeal shall be made on all matters emanating from members, branches, and state associations. They said shall twice. That's a double shall, all right? Now, the Executive Council is important. It's a wildly important structure in the NALC. However, it is the supreme body, not when we're the supreme body. It's all policy comes from the EC between conventions. So when the conventions are occurring, we are the supreme body for appeals. So I would ask all of our brothers and sisters not to give away our powers, to make sure that any appeals of the Executive Council are heard when everyone is here, when everyone is paying attention, and in the light of the truth.
Thank you, brother. Microphone number 6 under privilege.
I'm not too sure. Motion to make the rule, to read the rule, or motion to vote on the amendment.
Sister, are you calling for the question on the amendment?
Call for the question. Okay, I call for the question.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who, well, I guess we'll deal with the call for the question first, even though we don't have rules. Let's try this. Okay. All right.
Vote now.
All right, the sister has called for the question. Is there any objection to proceeding to the question? Hearing none, we will proceed to the question. Let's be clear about what the amendment is. The amendment is to, or the motion is to amend Rule number 21, which currently states in the first sentence that appeals to the convention will be heard on Friday. The motion before the delegates is to amend such rule so that any appeals of Executive Council decisions would be heard by the convention on Tuesday. To be very clear, this motion would only impact the timing of the hearing of any appeal of an Executive Council decision. In order for any Executive Council decision to be heard as an appeal, someone would first have to make a motion about the decision. This convention would then have to vote to hear such an appeal. So as we sit here today, there is none scheduled. However, of course, any delegate has the right to make such a motion. Everybody clear on that? So the amendment is to amend Rule 21 to change what day appeals will be heard from currently appeals heard on Friday to creating an exception within the rules for any appeal of an Executive Council decision to be heard on Tuesday. Everything else will be heard on Friday. Nothing else changes. All those in favor of the motion to amend the rules, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
Division.
I think I'm calling for a division.
I'm calling for a division.
Microphone number 1 under privilege.
The call for division.
Okay, come on up, brother. Come on. All right, microphone number 3 under privilege.
Zachary Spitz, Alamo Branch 421, Bernie, Texas. Point of privilege or point of information. I believe we just took a vote on the actual motion when we were supposed to take a vote on the question.
There was no objection to calling for to proceeding to the question, brother. And we're operating a little loosely here because we don't have rules yet. You know. Okay, everybody sit down. So once again, the motion is to amend the rules as proposed to amend Rule 21 that effectively would create an exception. Currently, the rule states that appeals will be heard on Friday. Brother Rivera's motion is to amend that rule so that an exception would be created that any appeals to executive council decisions would be heard on Tuesday. All those in favor of amending Rule 21 as such, please stand and remain standing until I tell you to sit. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it?
It looks like they're standing to me, especially the back there.
Okay, please be seated. All those opposed to the amendment to amend Rule 21, or to the motion to amend Rule 21, please stand. It's too close, man. I don't know.
I saw more of them standing up.
It's too close.
I don't know. I saw that whole sea back there standing up, and there's someone through here. I think I got it. It's good.
Brother Rivera believes that the yeas have it. I don't know. It's very close. So, it would appear we are going to have a Board of Tellers vote without yet naming a Board of Tellers. You good? You good? Yeah, I'm good. All right. Sergeant at Arms will close the doors in 5 minutes. Those that are tellers, please come to the front and see Brother Weiner, and we will vote in just a few minutes.